Hello and welcome to the final episode of Talk of the Town for this season, brought to you by Thrifty, Van and Car Hire. I almost got that wrong then. I don't know why I'm half asleep. We're your media team. If you don't know who we are by now, then I'm Egg. This is my boss, Nathan. Right, Nathan, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Obviously, season came to an end a few weeks ago now, and just reflecting on what has been a great season, and looking forward to talking for the final time of 24-25, and then we'll look ahead to 25-26, where there'll be plenty of football and plenty more talk of the towns as well.
Yeah, the wheels of time never stand still, and they especially never stand still at Exmouth Town. There are two events coming up on Friday, the 16th. It's the end of season awards. There's a barbecue. There's drinks, free drinks for gold members as well. I'm not quite sure what time the awards start. But
It's open from 6:30, and they got music on as well. Presentation
the
start at 8, and
presentation.
then you've got one for the road performing till late. So exciting for everyone there. And obviously, look, it's been a wonderful season. So all the players, well, as a few, I'm pretty sure a lot of the players are going to be there. We haven't got like a guest list or anything. We don't know who's here and who's not, but there's going to be players there. They're going to get awards. We can celebrate what has been a magnificent season, and then enjoy some drinks and some great music as well. And then following that, so it's a busy time because the FA Cup finals the next day, Crystal Palace versus Man City, sure to be a really exciting game. But it's not just the cup final happening at the club. It's not just from 4:30. The bar opens at 12:30. You've got a Skittles tournament for all those that want to get into that, a bit of competition on cup final day. But it doesn't stop there, because after you have your barbecue at 2:00, you've got a general knowledge quiz from 3:00. I assume Sam is the one putting that together, and I believe that was also a thing last year. So your knowledge is be tested. So you've got to practice a couple of different things here. They're also going to have a barrel of real ale there too before the cup final starts. So you'll be very happy before the cup final begins. And then obviously, I don't know if any Palace fans or Man City fans that are town fans, but if there are, you're going to be cheering your team on. But it's going to be a great game for the neutral too. So make sure you come down there, and both events free entry. So just why not? You've got lovely weather, get out in the beer garden and go and watch the football. It sounds like a no-brainer.
And as a bitter Bolton Wanderers fan, I would just like to say up the Palace. No, that'd be a great day as well. So you can basically spend all weekend in a state of happiness fueled by alcohol at Exmouth Town Football Club. So yeah, that's the two events. There's obviously going to be more events coming up over the summer. There were some videos from the Ian Boyd gig someone sent
Yeah.
me. That looked fantastic as well. They looked like the beer garden was full and that everyone was having a great time. So I'm sure there'll be more stuff going on over the summer. And I know the beer garden is always open and the clubhouse is open periodically throughout the summer. Once we've got details on that, we'll put them on the socials. Everyone's kind of having a bit of a rest in their downtime at the minute, as much as possible. Elaine and those guys obviously don't. So thank you to them for everything they do, running the clubhouse and all these events and everything. So I suppose the elephant in the room is Evesham,
Hmm.
not the place, the game. A lot of things have been said since then. We travelled in great numbers. Nath, what's your thoughts? I didn't really see you during the game. I know we spoke on the way back on our long old journey, and on the way up, it was a bit of a weird one, I think, for us in HMS media. But
Yeah, it was gutting, and then not in the sense of like being annoyed at anyone or feeling anything. It was just like my ultimate feeling really was the team didn't deserve that. That they would deserve to lose, to be honest. Like if look at the game objectively, Evesham ran away with it second half. I think they made a switch about 57th minute, scored two goals like 3 minutes after, like in that 3 minute space afterwards, and then we never got the momentum back. And Evesham, look, they ran Yate close for the title albeit the two games before didn't really show it, but they are, undoubtedly the second best team in the league this season or last season now, and they're the ones that got promoted. So it was what it was. It sucked. It's one of those when you, especially because I was in the home end, and you have all the home fans that go on, go on, go on. You don't really get that a lot of these games, to be honest. Like, because we're always in that win with the home fans, really, when we go away. Because I suppose there isn't really that segregation. So you're not really used to it. And then so now behind me, I'm hearing go on. And it's just like, oh no, like I'm the only one rooting for these guys here. But it was just, yeah, it was tough to take it for a brief moment. But then obviously, I think both of us came to the realization that, like, even being here and having this opportunity to play on a Wednesday, I mean, the scheduling was a bit crazy, but playing on a playoff semi-final is just crazy progression for the club. So yeah, was gutting, but it was always important to be like, we're not lucky to be here because we deserve to be there, but you'll get what I mean in that sense of, it's almost an honour that we're a part of this now, because that wasn't going to be the case 10 years ago. Probably didn't even look like they were going to get out of the peninsula, let alone get into the Southern League Prem potentially if obviously results had gone our way. So yeah, was a gutting experience, and best congratulations to Evesham, of course, on getting that promotion. They deserve it, and I will say, great credit to their analyst Lewis, who helped me out a ton. So people know that the signal issues at Evesham is pretty tough, but he sorted me out. So appreciate him and appreciate what they did. And yeah, best of luck to them next season. It's a tough league, the Southern Prem, as Froome found out. We'll be seeing them next year because they came up and came down. I think it happened to Didcot as well. So it's a tough league, but I think they're in a decent area, and let's have a go at it, because there's a couple of teams that seem to get caught in that relegation scrap. So if it is possible, they can stay up 100%, as well as, yeah, of course, congratulations to them winning the league, and Malvern for getting them. I'll be honest, like, Malvern are the best team we played all season in my eyes. So I mean, I'm not really looking forward to going back there because they always seem to beat us away from home. But congratulations to both of them to get into the final as well.
Yeah, it was for someone who's been a casual fan up to 2020, I suppose, during COVID, and then kind of progressing more into coming every week and then into this role where Nathan is basically my carer. It was kind of a bit of a yin and yang. It was great that we were there. And it kind of, for me, going back to 2016, my first game coming, when we lost, I think we lost 4-0 to Salt Ash. There was 50 people there to see the club is now completely transformed. Our ground is completely different. To see the fact that there was almost 50 supporters there, had travelled up on a Wednesday night that distance. Um, I was nothing, and I said pre-kickoff, and I said in the last podcast, we had nothing to lose, and kind of coming away just how proud I was of this tiny little football club of ours, and what it kind of reinforced me what it means to so many people to see so many people there on a Wednesday night, and to see how many people were flooding Facebook and our social media accounts as well, congratulating us on the achievements, on the lads and Hilly's and Dave's achievements, actually. I'll get into on everyone else in a minute. But yeah, it was kind of one of those ones where we haven't lost in that style this season. We haven't taken a walloping from anybody really. And it was tough to take. And none of the players were to blame. They did everything. You could see with 10, 15 minutes to go, they were out on their feet. And yeah, disappointment's a natural thing to have, and I think that if you weren't disappointed and you're involved in football, that would be kind of worrying. But hopefully, when the dust is settled and we've kind of all moved on a little bit, we can kind of just hold our heads high and be proud of what the lads did this season, what Dave and Hilly have done this season, all of the people that are directly involved with the team. Me and Nathan obviously indirectly involved with the team. I'm talking about Saf, Bob, Chard, Hilly's wife as well. She does all the kits and stuff, helps him do those sorts of things. So there's lots of people that have played a part in getting the team to where they are. So hopefully, as time goes on, they can hold their heads high, because they've done us completely proud. We've finished above teams that have more resources available to them, and we finished well clear of some of them. You only had to walk around Evesham to see what is available to them. The back room where the players were changing, the change rooms, the lads had a changing room, and then Dave Hilly and Rolo had a separate changing room for themselves, for us to be competing on a level playing field with those guys. And let's not forget, it's taken Evesham 2.5 games to score against us.
Yeah,
And we were leading at halftime. So it kind of reinforced to me how much this little football club means to people, and how when this club isn't perfect and nothing's perfect, I try and be perfect and I fail continuously. But that how much this club's progressed and continue to progress, and we might not make we might not make Southern Prem next season, we might not make it the season after, but eventually this club is going to make the Southern Prem. Everything is kind of in that trajectory. One last thing, just to put emphasis, I did look on the day afterwards because me, Nath, and Rolo were messaging back and forth. It was 6 years ago that we went to Bodmin and won to get out of the Peninsula League. Then there was like some sort of like world pandemic. We spent one season in the Western League, and I remember Hilly saying then during the pandemic, having an interview saying it's a 5-year plan for us to be pushing for promotion from the Western League. That was
yeah,
2020, and we're already here. And to emphasize how far we've come in such a short space of time, in 2016 we finished eighth in the Peninsula Prem, and only Plymouth Parkway are currently playing above us in the football ladder, and currently only Falmouth are the only team we have played this season in a league game. There are teams here that, no disrespect, now are playing Step 7 football. Witheridge, New Campbellford, Elberton, Stoke Gabriel, Tor Point, Launceston, St Blaise. Bovey Tracy finished bottom that season. St Austell won the league, who were above. So yeah, I think that this season has been an incredible success, and everyone should be really proud. That's kind of just what I think we need to take from that. Anyway, moving on. Right. So, Nate, you've got a little thing we're going to do for this season, I suppose, and it's going to go on socials. You've explained to me, but I don't.
yes. So we've got a couple of awards that are, sort of online awards, not a case of that we'll be at the presentation handing them out, but ones for you guys to vote on. Obviously, you've had the player of the year, but also we're going to have some just little ones, and there's only two, so you don't need to think too much about it. We're going to have moment of the season, and we're going to have goal of the season. So obviously, goal of the season, you know what it is. And in fact, if you've got any suggestions for goal of the season, let us know. I'll read a couple to you. We're struggling on. I'm struggling on a fourth. I've got three that I'm pretty sure are going to be in it. I'm just struggling on a fourth. I've got an idea of what it might be, but so we'll start with Tom Bath's goal against Kidlington. I think incorrectly said it was Street. He did score against Street, but it wasn't that goal. That was just a tap in. But
The
the
Kidlington one,
Street goal, the Kidlington one,
where he lost
was
the keeper.
fantastic. Yeah, genuinely unbelievable goal. Probably has been a bit lost to time, unfortunately, in terms of memories, because obviously we sort of just sort of ran through that game. But that was a hell of a goal. Ollie Knowles against Bashley. Louis Morrison will decide which one against Tavistock, but one of those. And then possibly Callum Shipton versus Manor Farm. More so just for that. The goal was actually of good quality, but it will also come into play for the other award, which is moment of the season, which is a bit different in the sense of it's not less about the quality of the action. It's, to be honest, it's more about how it made you feel. Pardon me, more about how it made you feel as a fan or as a person, and how happy it was or how funny or memorable it was. So that being said, the Callum's last minute goal is on that one. Ethan Slater's equaliser against Mousel will be on there. Tom Bath's winner against Bishop's Cleeve will be on there. And I know I could have put Kevin Hill coming on as a sub, but I felt like that wasn't right considering the injury that forced him to come on. But you will have the opportunity to vote for Kevin Hill as a linesman, as the other one. Those four are pretty settled in.
You can just
I
vote
think
for Kevin Hill's moment of the season. Just Kevin Hill's moment,
yeah, you probably could. You probably could.
really.
But we're gonna definitely go with the linesman one because it's just so unique. And obviously, anyone was looking when he sort of rammed his arms up in the air once when the ref made a poor decision, which led to their late winner. So yeah, got those two. They'll be rolled out on socials in the coming week. So yeah. So I don't know. Out of those, the goal and the moment of the season, what's yours? How are you feeling on that one?
Sorry, all these months on, I'm still laughing at Hilly just appearing in that linesman,
Get it up.
linesman's kit with the flag.
Get it up.
It was. I think Hilly's doing that was quite funny. Moment of the season. I think I
I
would
will say,
I would
but
say
it's just Frankie unlucky to miss out for the penalty save against Bishop's Cleeve, but a
yeah,
winner is a bit more.
yeah.
It's unlucky though. Sorry, Frankie.
I would say my moment of the season was is probably early on where we beat. Yeah, where Ben Griffiths scored the second goal to make it 2-0. That's the point where I kind of thought, oh, this could be a different season. Like this team is scarily good. And yeah, there was a few bumps along the way, but that the moment where we were dreaming that we actually could win the league and we'd gone toe to toe with a team of that quality.
Mm.
That was a moment, a bit of an obscure one. And I think as well, Ace's goal against Houston for the sheer relief that was felt around the ground when that ball hit the back of the net.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
think those two moments of the season. I'd also like to now say that Louis Morrison's red against Bashley at home also has mean stitches for no apparent reason. Of the fact why would you pull the man down when you've got Mike Landry stood behind you? Um, and goal of the season. I think we're unfair not to put Mike Landrycombe's goal in there against
It does it just because
Poole,
uh,
but
it
yeah.
wasn't a
So
competitive game. That's all. It's honourable mention for
yeah,
sure. That's a hell of a goal. If he scored
so
it a couple of weeks later, would have been on.
yeah, so Mike's goal against Poole, I thought was a cracking shot as well. I think it has to be Ollie's against Bashley because the context of that of us being down. I think we were down to 10 men at that point. We were
Yeah,
backs against the wall. Bashley were well on top, and it literally come out of nothing as well. Like in, I've said this loads. The footage doesn't do it justice. The fact that Ollie just hit it first time, and it wasn't even like a fluke. Like you could see the fact that he was just like, yeah, I'm just gonna curl this in with the outside of my foot, and then just nonchalantly just like ran off like he was like Messi. So yeah, that's I think for me that's my goal of the season. What are yours? I'm assuming you're going to say Cow against Manor Farm.
I think Cal against Manor Farm is my moment of the season, just because that felt we was in a real slip at that time, real blip. To be honest, it carried on after that moment, but that was just a great. It's probably the most I've celebrated a goal at town. To be honest, because usually I'm doing a job while there. Obviously, I care and everything, but if we score a goal, I'm looking down. It's not a case of going out. But I genuinely celebrate that like like a fan. So yeah, that would be my moment. And to be honest, my goal would be Tom Bass against Kidlington. That was such a good goal. And just because of it wasn't the most. I think we were like 3-0 up at the time, or 3-1,
Yeah.
or 2-1 or something. But it was just out of all, like, just objectively out of all the goals, I think that was the best one. So yeah, that'll be up within next week. We'll also have a interview with Ben Steer up coming. We recorded it a couple weeks back, but he's going to be he's going to have that up as well. Someone that's obviously a veteran at town and almost had that Piers Sweeney esque sort of bit longer than Piers Sweeney's, but you know what I mean in terms of going away for a brief period and has come back and obviously impacted the season in a great way. So yeah, so that plenty coming. Just because it's the off season doesn't mean that the content stops, but we obviously don't be surprised if it's slightly reduced because there's no games. But we'll, as soon as we find out any news about the team or people coming in, preseason friendlies, as soon as we know, we'll get it out there as well for you guys, because obviously you guys need to know too, because you want to get excited for these preseason games and an opportunity to come watch the players. So yeah, we'll keep you in with everything, and we're looking forward to seeing who the team brings in. The Moxie release today, never know. I'm joking, but plenty of crazy stuff will happen. Probably, it's non-league transfers, so you never know. I said this is very niche, but I think like Worthing's top goal scorer just went to Billericay, and like, so you never know what can happen in non-league. That's like a step drop when Worthing almost got promoted. So you never know what can happen. We might bring in, Messi. You never know.
If we sign Dean Moxey, Dean, if you're watching this, I very much doubt you are. As an Exeter City and Bolton Wanderers fan, I will clean your boots for you for the entire season if you sign for Exmouth Town. Not in a weird way, just because you are one of my favourite all-time players. Um, yeah, there's obviously going to be a lot of stuff. There's the end of season video coming up. There is, I
Yes.
cannot stress this enough. We've taken the video to every game this season, even the one game where neither me and Nathan were at. Joe and Martin managed to get it to work, and I couldn't find the footage for
Yeah.
weeks on end, which is why there's no footage out there of Melksham away. There is, so there's all the goals from the video, and I have personally got, I think, about 700 clips and bits of footage and stuff I filmed and have accumulated. So it's taken a long time to go through all of it. So it's not going to be a case of it could be out next weekend. It's probably going to be when it's going to be out, but the end of season video is coming out. We've got a few other bits as well that we're working on and we're doing. So there is going to be stuff coming out just to kind of fill that little bit of a gap while we're in that weird point. And then hopefully we'll have some news on pre-season friendlies, lads who've come back, lads who we're signing. I'm sure there's going to be some other Exmouth Town-esque things in the works as well. But yeah, me and Nate, and season tickets obviously and stuff as well. Once we know that, that's all stuff that the club will be working on. And then as soon as me and Nate are giving the information, it's literally within an hour or so at most
Yeah, it'll be
before
on
we
board,
release
yeah.
it. So it's literally a quick turnaround for us. So once we know, you guys will know. That's everything I think on content wise. Just while we're on the subject of content, thank you to all of the players this season who have been more than happy for me and Nathan to stick a camera and a microphone in their face, who sat down and given up their time pre-game for interviews. Thank you to Dave, Hilly, and Rolo, who we've interviewed. Thank you to Len as well. Obviously, we interviewed Len. Go watch that. That's a really fascinating chat with Len and someone who embodiments, I think, the passion for this club. So thank you to everybody who's been more than willing to sit down formally. And thank you to everybody as well that's just had me stiff a camera in their face for the last few weeks pre-game at home. It's very much appreciated. It goes to it promotes the club and the sponsors, so it really is. It's not just us messing around, although it is me messing around, but it is the reason we're doing it. I think that's everything going into the summer and
Yeah.
last season.
I'll I'll add a little, sorry, I'll add a little thank you to everyone that tuned into the commentary this year. Not perfect, of course. There'll be plenty still mistakes to be made, lots of them, but I hope, it provided a service. That's the whole intention. Provide a service for those that couldn't make the away games. Obviously, if certainly reliant on signal, now we know a couple of away games that they unfortunately won't be able to cover, so Big Cot and those games. But I hope that it was helpful to you guys, and I've really enjoyed doing it. It's been really fun doing it, and then hopefully led to some really great moments. And obviously, I think it's enhanced the highlights as well. Obviously, I know it, and that's thank you to you, Egg, for putting them in and syncing up. Because I know it's not easy. So yes, and I appreciate all the support and love on that. And we'll be back next year. I'll try and think of some ways to improve it, but certain things that are out of my control, I'll try and improve the controllables though for next year, and I'm looking forward to getting back to it.
I still think you should take my suggestion of reacting like they do in South America when we score and just go, 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 go. I still think that's probably on the cards.
The people of Bemerton aren't ready for that. That's the issue. Like,
The people of Edmonton
do
aren't
that
ready
in
for
a
that.
way,
The people of
away,
Evesham are
it's
not.
going to
People
be
of
a bit.
Evesham weren't ready for that. That's why they bought
No,
that stadium.
no. That's why the signal's so bad. But I'm not. I can't do that unfortunately. But I'll still react to the goals and raise my voice when we score and be a bit quieter when they score.
Speaking of signals, forgot to mention. Obviously, we've lost. 4 teams have been relegated from this league. Houston were one of them, so they have been relegated. We have had Portishead come up from the Western League, who are literally just right across the road from Cribs. So lose instead of going
Yeah.
to the right, we go to the left
What?
on that side of the road. Brixham have been promoted as well. Congratulations to Brixham. Lovely club. We played them obviously in the FA Cup, and I know that they were donated some money towards Jack when he had his knee. I know there was talk of that, his knee injury. So that's another local game for us. Hartbury University have also been promoted, which is a new
That's
one. We weren't,
Gloucester. Yeah.
yeah, we won't have played them before. Froome have obviously been relegated, who we played before. Swindon Super, whatever they're called, have been
Supermarine.
relegated. Yeah, we assume that they'll be in our league. And Winchester won the playoffs in this league 2 seasons ago, beat Bristol Manor Farm. So we assume that they'll come into our league. Obviously, we don't know the makeup of the league at the
Oh
minute.
yeah.
Sam did put someone on the MTC, and I kind of think that's probably the most likely way this
Yeah,
is.
he's usually pretty accurate
Yeah,
with those projections. So yeah, no, it
yeah,
looks like that. I mean, there's some local, there's some not so local
yeah.
ones added in. So the usual mix, unfortunately, and all fortunately depends. But I'm looking forward to that Brixton game for sure. That's going to be good.
Yeah. We've also still got Falmouth Mousehole down in deepest, darkest Cornwall. Still got Malvern up in Scotland. Um, and yeah, so what will next season? It's going to be a few more miles in store. That's, I think, everything to do with the football. So thank you
That's it.
to many, many people. I know last season we just thanked every man and his dog on the face of the planet, so we're going to try and not do it this time. Thank you to the club from me and Nath from the bottom of our heart. You kind of put a lot of trust in us and we're incredibly fortunate that you are very hands off with us, so to speak. There are some clubs who are very hands on with their media people. You guys just leave me and Nath to, and from above our hearts, we're incredibly appreciative of that you trust us to kind of just go off and do what we think's best. Thank you to Stuart, Mr. Chairman, for everything he's done for the club and does for the club as well. He's put a lot of work in, as has all of the board. Um, Thank you to obviously Dave Hilly for just helping me and Nath and being really supportive and appreciative of our work. We often stick a camera in their face or try and hang around after some pretty awful defeats, and they are always more than willing to chat to us. So it doesn't go unnoticed. Thank you, guys. Thank you to all the lads again as well. Thank you to Frankie. You have been amazing for this club, and you'll go on to do some amazing things, I think, as well in football. You have been just fantastic as a person, as a man as well. So I think we all will be following your career trajectory. Um, Go get him, mate. Go and go on to bigger and better things. You're always a blue. You'll always be one of us. So don't be a stranger. And to any of the lads who don't come back as well next season for whatever reason, you're always one of us. Unfortunately, we're like a bad penny. Exmouth Town, we keep coming back. Thank you to Gary as well, who does a lot of the photography this season with me. Nathan has always been incredibly professional when I've been messing around, and has got the photos to us like lightning quick as well. So we are really appreciative of Gary and his work as well, sitting out there in all weathers, and has always been amazing. Actually, he's like the third wheel of our
Yeah, him and Jerry for
him and
sure.
Jerry, yeah, him and Jerry as well. Thank you to them. Um, Thank you to Elaine and all the guys in the clubhouse and all the guys in the tea hut, because this club doesn't run without you guys. Thank you to all the guys in the car park, Martin and Joe. Um, all of you guys are amazing as well, kind of fitting cars and Tetris like. I think that's kind of. Is there anybody else I've missed off? There's so many people.
No,
Thank you to
the
Sam as well.
volunteers.
Thank you to
Yeah.
Sam, who has organised the minibus and bus to every game I think this season as well, and all the MTC guys who've done,
And Nick for
and
driving. I
Nick.
know he gets paid, but Nick for driving them too. And Talon as well. Talon, who you might not know, but
Oh
the
yes,
graphics that we do, their templates designed by him. So he's a big part of that and making it, making our aesthetic look cleaner.
yeah,
Sort of moved us from Canva to InDesign. So it all looks a bit clean now, and he's more skilled than I'll probably ever be. So he's a great help to the club as well.
and Ches as well, who's the person that
Yes, who
has
arranges
who
it.
arranges all that stuff. It's not graphic
Yeah.
design. It's not something that me and Nath know and can do. Thank you to VEO as well, all my good friends in Denmark. You've been really helpful this year. I promise I will learn Danish. And we shall meet up for that coffee at some point. I look forward to talking to you in a couple of weeks, probably when the VEO doesn't start at the beginning of the season again. And thank you as well to Thrifty, who have supported me and Nath, and all the sponsors of the club. Club doesn't run without volunteers, and it doesn't run without money.
Yeah.
Thank you to all you guys. I think we thanked everybody. Thanks Swaz as well, just because those kits are amazing. Honestly, like they are
Thanks, everyone.
phenomenal. I'm gonna go and get the away one next season as well. Is that good? I think that's everybody we've thanked. I don't think there's, if we've forgotten you, thank you as well. Thank you to the
Yeah,
supporters.
thank you. Thank you.
Thank you to everybody in Exmouth. Thank you to that goose that landed on the pitch as well at one point. Forgot about that goose. And thank you to Louis Morrison just for being continuously comical element of my Saturday afternoons. I think that's everything,
Yeah, I
everybody.
think that's everyone.
And thank you to Nathan as well for putting up with me
No,
on those
thank you.
long as away trips.
No, it's all good, man. Thank you as well, because the video stuff is so important, and you smash it. So no, I think we have actually thanked
Yeah,
everyone now, and every man is goose. So that is
just goose.
brilliant season,
Yeah.
and we hope that 25-26 will carry more of the same in terms of those great moments, great memories. Keep an eye on the socials for those goal of season, moment of the season things, and that Ben Steer interview too. The end of season video, which is going to be great. I've seen a little preview of it. That's going to be sick. And then obviously every goal of the season thing comes to fruition, that's like class. That's like professional content right there. So no, really good. And yeah, you got to lock in, because again, just because the season stops for the players doesn't mean it stops for us. So we're going to keep you entertained through the summer, and we'll be back probably pre-season to talk some Exmouth Town, talk about some new players, talk about some friendlies, and really get back to business. So looking forward to it, and hope you guys enjoy your summer. Hope everyone enjoys their summer,
Yeah.
and we'll see you next time.
We shall see next time. If you're watching this and you want to get involved with the club, MTC or whatever, do it. Get involved. This club doesn't run without the good, the kind-heartedness of its supporters and the people in the local community. Have a great summer. Nave's on holiday next Saturday. I forgot to mention that Nave is going to L Dublin, and then he's going to the Emerald Isle of Turin.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
and then a couple others in June, but then we'll be back July locked in,
I'm not going anywhere, so don't worry.
ready
Like
to go.
I'll tell you what's going on. I'm going to be. I've taken up watching Finnish football, HJK Helsinki. So if you see me next season, come ask me how Helsinki doing. In all seriousness, have a great summer. We shall see you at the end of season awards, FA Cup, and those sorts of things. Thank you for everything. Have a great summer. We'll see you next season. Up the Blues.